Yeah, just get
Like
comfortable.
that?
Yep, supporting that lower back. Yep. You have your, give your little sock rolls for your hands. There you go. And just turn on your tremor.
My lower back wants to go.
Yeah, we lifted it off the ground a little bit with a pillow, with a towel. So we gave it some comfort. Comfortable body will release. It won't release unless it's safe and comfortable. So what are you noticing here?
It's stemming from my lower back, and it'll shoot out sort of towards my feet. But it ranges. It'll go from like either up and down to like sort of jerky.
Mm-hmm.
Jerky and jolts. My right hip feels looser for sure today.
Yeah, they take turns, don't they? I'm just paying attention to your body temperature here. How are your arms feeling here?
Good. They don't feel cold right now. It's kind of traveling up to like my abdominals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see your left hand moving too.
Yeah.
Are you okay with this?
Uh-huh.
Okay, great. Remember, you can rest anytime. This can get a little exhausting. You're so good at turning it on and off now that it's moving more through your body. That's why you're noticing it in your arms and your hands.
Does it surprise you? Like, will it come out when you're like doing your day-to-day?
Will it surprise you? You know, it's always trying to move in the path of least resistance. It's hitting up onto any joints or tightness and tension, like it's hitting up against a stop sign. And so it's going to just keep gently touching upon those stop signs in the body until it kind of opens it up and wiggles it free. So when it does wiggle it free, you might experience it as like a herky-jerky motion. Go, oh, where did that come from? But it's been trying to kind of like, you know, melt the ice that's kept that joint, that thing frozen. So you might experience it as like, oh, that's a surprise, but it's actually been working on it the whole time.
Interesting. So it's kind of like, but like I don't know if you said this, but like when we're sleeping and we jolt or we like, I don't know, I get that a lot where I'm like about to go to sleep and then I'll get like a jerk motion. I don't know if that has anything to do with.
I'm not sure, but I think that reflex of, you know, getting us into relaxation is part of what we're doing here. Is we are, you know, we do these stretches to tense the body and then we release. So we do the ankle stretches and the calf stretches and the glute stretches and the inner outer thigh stretches and the psoas stretch, alternating with just shaking out the body to be able to kind of simulate a tension and then release, a tension and release. So I think when we're going to sleep at night, same thing is happening. We're like in a tense mode and we just want to kind of come into final relaxation. So we have that like last tension and then we kind of like release it all.
Interesting. Do you want me to restart?
Sure.
This one?
Mm-hmm. Did you say your right hip was looser?
Yeah. It's like willing to, it was shaking more. Like my right leg was shaking more than my left. My left was a little more stiff, but I could feel it in my hips. because my pelvis is like, my lower back, my pelvis, that's where I'm like feeling the most shaking, or where it's starting. But even just going like this, I can feel the looseness in my right hip versus my left.
So why don't you bend your right leg and put your foot flat on the ground?
Yeah, it's always the hardest thing. Because then it wants to do it, like every time I try to change positions, it'll like jerk more.
And then just putting that right foot on the ground, just lay it out like a butterfly leg on the right leg and see what happens.
On the ground or on the pillow?
On the ground. If you can, if it's not too uncomfortable. Yeah.
Tight, but...
Trying to ground that right side to let the left side have some more opportunity.
Like put my foot on the floor?
You're doing great, just the way it is. What do you notice anything in your shake now?
It's like more jerky.
Yeah. Yeah, because now all of a sudden it's going into a new place. So it's got to remember, as soon as it starts to get into a new area, it's going to flank around a little bit. Yeah, and it could kind of startle you. It might be like, whoa, what's that all about? So definitely stop and rest.
It was more tiring.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that one was definitely more like
Well, you said your right side was looser, so we said, well, let's ground the right side and let the left side have a chance to move around. And the reason why it was so herky-jerky is because there hadn't been any real mobility there. You know, there hadn't been any release happening there. But now we said, hey, the only place to go now is left hip, go.
It did go. Okay. Can I start from here?
You tell me.
We'll see.
Yeah, put your left leg straight or however it wants to be. Yeah, and just start it up.
I mean, my right leg in butterfly is still moving. Is it possible I can put my my hand? Is it possible I can put my right foot on the floor to like not shake my
yeah, if that's more comfortable for you. Yeah, like that.
Maybe not, because it kind of does the same thing.
You're doing great.
Interesting. Now my left arm isn't shaking as much now that my right, because my right took up some of the. Okay, interesting. This is cool.
Well, when you have your leg like that, you're actually using your muscles to stabilize. So if you just like let your leg rest, your right leg out like a butterfly, yeah, then there's no tension there. And that's why there's more that can happen on that left side. Yeah, great body awareness just to rest, because that can be a lot.